Hey, how y'all doing? I know a lot of people have a lot of questions when it comes to their swimming pool and making a decision as far as which type of pool you should get or which type of pool you should install. Um, so basically, to start with, you have three options. You have a fiberglass shell that you can put in, you have a vinyl liner that you can install, and you can also go with a concrete shell that has plaster that goes on top of that. So you'd have a plaster pool. Um, Basically, as far as which one is the best, I mean, that one's completely up for debate. It's basically just a matter of opinion and preference and what type of budget you're on. In my opinion, the most bang for your buck is going to be a fiberglass pool because they're relatively inexpensive for the most part to purchase and to install. And as long as you take care of them and maintain your water chemistry and whatnot, um, I mean, they're going to last forever essentially. Um, of course, a lot of people say with fiberglass shells, you run the risk of the shell popping out of the ground, and I mean that's just as long as you keep water in the pool. I mean that's just not true. I've never seen it happen. I've I've heard of it happening, but I've heard of it happening because of the pool being empty. So if you get a lot of groundwater coming up on that and the pool is empty, then it's just like a boat essentially and it's going to float. But if you have a lot of water, if you have the pool full of water, I mean you're not going to run into that popping out of the ground. Um, as far as a vinyl liner pool goes, I think I think a vinyl liner pool is a good option too. They're relatively inexpensive. Um, the only problem you have with those is, I mean, with time, depending on how much sun the pool gets and how well your water chemistry is maintained, your the vinyl liner part of it is going to have to be replaced periodically. Typically, they say I tell people 5 to 10 years, anywhere in that vicinity, depending on how it was taken care of and how much sun it gets, because the sun just dries the vinyl out and causes it to wear out more quickly. But it's a very affordable option. It's a good way to go. Um, Another negative that you run into with those, if you have animals that swim in the pool, I would tell you to absolutely never let your animal swim in the pool because I've seen where dogs claw on the side of it and they tear a hole in the liner and then you're you're up a creek without a paddle. The last option and the to me the best option because you can just do so much with it. It's a little more expensive, but if you go with the concrete pool or plaster pool, um, or gunite is what a lot of people call it. Um, I mean, there's so many options that you can do to customize that, and a lot of people obviously like to be different, like to have their own thing. So I mean, it's definitely a very good option if your budget is a little bit higher. Um, it's a very, I mean, I've seen super simple plaster pools and I've seen super elaborate plaster pools that cost hundreds of thousands of dollars. So I mean, you can go with a plaster pool. I mean, the sky's the limit with those because you can essentially do anything you want as far as customizing everything. So, um, also with a plaster pool, just like with a liner, I mean, periodically you're going to have to replaster the pool as well because I mean, just over time wear and tear, it's going to, your plaster is going to take a beating and whatnot. So you'll have to replace that periodically as well. And typically with plaster, you'll get more life out of that than you would a vinyl liner, but it's hard to say because there are so many factors that go into that. So hope this helps. if you're looking to make a decision to purchase a swimming pool, I think it's a good decision because there are a lot of hot summer days where you can hop in and cool off. So, hope this helps. See y'all later.